Good morning. So today I want to do a little summary and then talk about pragyaparad, offending our own wisdom. So in Ayurveda, two causes of disease, ama, which is toxin, internal, external, mental, emotional, or spiritual, and pragyaparad, which means when we offend our own wisdom. And a reminder, Ayurveda inherently accepts the reality of the Atma, or the soul. So it's sort of a descending process. There's the soul, and then it gets covered by conditioned consciousness, by intelligence, by material intelligence, by false ego, by the mind, and then the material elements, which is ether, air, fire, water, and earth. And I'm going to go into all of those in a future talk. But the idea is that just like the sun can be covered by a cloud, but the sun still exists. And in fact, the sun hasn't been changed at all. The soul, or the essence of the being, of our being, is never completely, it's never destroyed. It always exists. But it's covered by the clouds of our conditioning and our consciousness and many other things, including toxins. So one of the things that causes this covering is called pragyaparad. Pragya means knowledge, wisdom, or experience. Aparad means to offend. So this is considered to be the primary cause of disease in Ayurveda. It's a very big subject, and there's many different branches that can be discussed. But it's the simple idea, really, is that when we lose connection with the Atma and something called Paramatma, which is the transcendental manifestation of the divine in our heart, when we lose connection with that, we tend to lose connection with our intuition and our knowing and our ability to act on what we've experienced and what we know, not based on beliefs, but based on real experience and based on real intuition. So one of the problems, as I see it, in the modern age, is the while science is amazing and wonderful, and it will continue to be so, if we give our intuition, intelligence, experience away in the name of only science and ignoring our own intuition, that causes a lot of problems. It's just one example. There's many, many examples. So science is, or over faith in one direction, while ignoring our own intuition, our own experience. So as we go through life, so many times, how many times have we done something that caused suffering, and then we do it again? And it causes suffering, and we do it again. And it causes suffering. Somehow I think in AA, it's like doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result, right? That's a form, as a description of insanity, but that is really the condition of most human beings in this world, until we start to wake up to our divine identity and start seeking out that deeper internal reality where we are actually literally connected to soul energy, or what's called Svarup, our essence. Our essence. So this is very, very important. And this is why these internal practices are very important. In Ayurveda, there's 3 different types of exercise: internal, external, and mixed. So the internal is the inner work that we do, whether our emotional healing work, or even beyond that, our spiritual work, reconnecting to our deeper self. And culturally speaking, although it's expanding greatly, it's not really been a topic in our school systems or in the general populace, that we have an inner reality or we have a soul. And in some cases, it's considered politically incorrect to even discuss it. But from an Ayurvedic perspective, this is a big problem, because from the Ayurvedic perspective, it's a reality. It's not just a cute concept. It's not a religious concept. It's called a tattva, or a truth, that which exists. And when we acknowledge that which exists and seek the reality on that thing, that's called sattva, goodness. So this is what we're talking about with pragyaparad. So I'm emphasizing the necessity of improving our intuition and listening to that, And one of the interferences of doing that is fear, because when we're in fear, then we don't find it as easy to connect our intuition. And we go into our mind and we just follow something that is inspiring the fear and listening to that part of our mind or to that external truth. So this is why, for example, this is why many people, they get a diagnosis and their internal wisdom says, let me go to someone else, let me keep discussing this issue with a few different people, we call that second opinion, because we want to try to understand it. We don't just necessarily accept the first thing that somebody says. So pragya-aparad is a very vast subject. Ultimately, it means when we offend, aparad means to offend, when we disconnect from our own inner essence, our own wisdom, our own knowledge, our own experience, and our own intuition. So this is, when you ignore that, this is pragya-aparad, considered the primary foundational underlying cause of disease in this world. And we'll talk more about it next time. Have a great day.